Good morning, everyone. It is Jason, your favorite Papa Bear over here in South Korea. And today I'm going to be answering another question that I received in my inbox regarding homeschooling. All right, for those of you who are new to watch me or didn't know, I am a stay at home dad that homeschools his daughter. We do a homeschool curriculum provided by Abeka. It's a accredited curriculum, so therefore, it comes with an official transcript, which, if we decide to go back to traditional schools, makes that transition a lot easier. On top of us doing a homeschooling curriculum, I have my daughter involved in Girl Scouts on the base here, so she gets for social interaction. We also participate in youth sports. Last year, we did a season of softball, 2 seasons of cheer, and we did a season of soccer, but football for you non-Americans. And over the summer, we're in our summer break, so no sports right now. But on top of the Abeka curriculum, the Girl Scouts, and the youth sports, I also have her enrolled into Korean math and Korean lessons, one room, a study room type of thing. Is ran by this Korean lady. So my daughter goes there. She's there with other kids of various ages, and the kids are doing math and are doing Korean studies as well. So my daughter has a very robust schedule for the day that keeps her as busy as possible, but productive at the same time. So, anyways, let me get to the question. All right. So this question comes from Mimi. Hi, Jason. I saw your post on Facebook about Abeka. Could you provide some more information about the program, such as how the materials are taught and are there any teachers assisting the students? My daughter is entering eighth grade in the US, but seventh grade in Korea, and Korean public school has not been great for her academically, and we need to take her back to USA soon, but am a little worried about her being um, behind in the US system curriculum due to her being in Korean for 3 years. She is also not very disciplined with learning on her own and staying focused with doing the assignments without any structure or monitoring. So I'm hoping that Abeka is a good system. All right, let me open it again so I can know where I'm at. All right. First, hello, Mimi. Thank you for reaching out to me and sending me your question. I'm more than happy to answer it. All right. So with Abeka is not live. They don't have a live stream option, quote unquote, live stream option, meaning that there's not a particular time of the day that your child would check in, and there's a teacher on the other end of the screen talking to the kids in real time. That is not that. Now, I do believe, I think I came across one. There are um, homeschool programs out there like that, I believe. And of course, those will cost more because there is an actual real time teacher teaching. But Abeka does not offer that. Abeka offers two homes. First, Abeka is a academy that makes curriculums for Christian private schools and churches that and churches that want to have their own kind of like in school program in their church. Now, on top of that, Abeka also creates these homeschooling um, kits that families can purchase from them. Now, they have two kits. You can two complete kits. They have different type of breakdowns, but I'm gonna talk about the two complete ones. One is a parent-led kit. That one is not accredited, meaning that um, you as a parent are responsible for tracking the grades and whatnot. Now, keep in mind, in the parent led kit, even with the other one I'm gonna talk about, you do get like tests that you administer to your child, and you get a test key. Like I said, Abeka make curriculums for schools, and the homeschool kits that you get are pretty much a scaled down version of what schools are buying, but it's for you with your child. Now, Going back to the parent-led ones are not accredited, but the parent-led kits are essentially the same as the accredited kits that the one that we use at my house. The accredited kit, what makes it accredited is that your child has to watch these pre-recorded videos for each lesson. And with that, and with the accredited one, and correct me, it's not completely. I mean, with the accredited one, you'll get this book right here, your video manual, and in the book, it'll break down like what your child needs to be doing like for each day for their lesson. Like you see, so it'll tell you, for example, I'm looking at lesson 88. So this is for the accredited one, not the parent led. So for lesson 88, today we're going to go over Bible, seat work, AM reading, phonics and language, writing, arithmetic, PM reading, spelling and poetry, combination practice, and then activity time. And with this, it breaks it down. It has a preparation. So you as the parent, or if your child's older, they can prep for themselves. But you as a parent, you know what needs to be prepped for each lesson that your child is going to go over in each video. And then for procedure, it explains what your child should be doing and whatnot, or what you need to do as well. Because with the accredited one, the parent or whoever else is overseeing your child's day for lessons, you're essentially like a coach, right? Now, my daughter, she's going to the second grade. The younger the child is, the more coaching time you as a parent need to allocate to your child. And as your child grows older, that means it should be less coaching from the parent. So essentially, by high school level, you as the parent should be only doing like 2 hours of quote unquote coaching with your child, because at that point they should be able to self-manage. Now, in your case, like you mentioned, your child is not good at is not disciplined and doing stuff on their own. Therefore, you as the parent, you will need to be a little more hands-on with ensuring your child is doing what they need to do. Right now, granted, my daughter first grade, I had to get on her because that's the age. That's what you expect from elementary kids. They're not gonna stay focused. So that's why they expect at the elementary level parents to be more hands-on with ensuring your child stays on task and whatnot, especially with the accredited one. Now, here's the thing that I realized, and other parents mention, people talk about the curriculum in Abeka can be overwhelming for some children, even some of the parents, because I'm admit it is a lot. But then again, I'm big on education. I believe that hey, my child's education is important, right? But the more you do it, the easier it should get as you grow older. That's my thinking on it. So, um, so for example, me and my daughter did. I realized I came to the realization when I was grading her tests, because I was grading her tests because in the videos that the child watch, if it's a test day, the teacher would say, okay, take out this test and then prepare to follow instructions. Now, when I went back to go grade the test with the answer key that I get provided, I asked my daughter again the same questions, and then she's like, "Oh, I understand because what was said in the video was said too fast, so she didn't fully hear it, and therefore she couldn't fully understand what was being said by the teacher in the video." So, to kind of like go back to my point where I was talking about how some parents have mentioned that Abeka can be overwhelming on the child, even on the parents, because there's a lot that you have to keep up with, especially if you, as the parent slash coach, are expected to allocate so much of your time. It can become overwhelming if you don't try to adjust it how it is. Keep in mind, this is a very flexible system, I feel. And with that being said, so what I will sometimes do is uh, play the video. I'll play the video. I will take my video manual. I will look at, okay, this is what needs to be done. Then I will go over the stuff with my child one on one. Um, because keep in mind the video is like a classroom. There's actual kids in the classroom, so it's like your child is in the class but they're not. So of course it's going at the pace of the, I hate to say this, it's going at the pace of the slowest child in the class. So that too can make some kids who are a little bit more high speed get bored, which my child does. So in order to keep her from falling asleep because she's bored because it's going too slow, I will take over and say, okay, look, let's go over this. Actually, I will go over the lesson with her, give her the test. And that way we can move a lot faster. And then while still letting the video play, because in order to get counted as accredited, your child has to watch those videos, right? Wink, wink. So because the parent led and the accredited one, it's the same curriculums, same except this video manual. You won't get that. And honestly, this video manual is pretty awesome. I don't know if you get something similar in the parent-led one, but the accredited one comes with the video manual. So now back on your child not being able to stay disciplined and focused. Unfortunately, if you are gonna go homeschool route in general, because your child's having a hard time with keeping up with the Korean school system, you're going to have to be hands-on as a parent. You're going to have to figure out what works best for your child and yourself. I would tell you, be prepared to deal with frustrations, because you will, especially with your child being a little bit older. They might give you a lot more pushback. Trust me, I get pushback too from my 7-year-old. But yeah, let me look over again. Now, the materials you get a lot. I will put a photo up so you can see everything you get. You get a lot. I got 2 boxes of the materials that we're gonna use for 2nd grade. We got, like I said, I went over all the subjects. The subjects that comes in the book is, you're gonna get materials for Bible, the seat work, the cursive writing, arithmetic, spelling and poetry, activity time, history, health. What else they give? Did I say arithmetic? Language. You get a lot of materials. You get books that they're going to be reading. And honestly, I like the books that she read actually really accelerated her reading and speaking skills dramatically. I like the reading that Abeka does provide, because her reading skills and vocabulary is very good for her age. And it's a lot of materials. Trust me, like I said, you are essentially getting everything. If you was a teacher at a school, Abeka, with these kits, you get everything you need. Now, there are some people who talks about that the curriculum is very faith-based. Yes, because Abeka is a Christian-based academy. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I didn't go to the Catholic private schools, but I know of Catholic private schools. And anyone who knows, if you're going to a faith-based school, of course religion is going to be incorporated into your curriculum, because it is a faith-based school. Abeka is a faith-based school. So if you're not a hardcore Christian, I'm not a hardcore Christian. I'm not, but at the same time, I still do appreciate some of the morals and values that my daughter do get taught from the Bible lessons. And if she has questions, I answer them or whatnot. And some things, if I don't agree with some things that Abeka's put in the book, I'll let her know. Yeah, that's we ain't rocking with that. Simple as that. It's really not that hard. Like, you don't have to fully agree with it. When I went to school and the teacher was going on with the book, and he or she'd be like, nah, that's not right. This is no. And then they'll give us the reason why, and then they will give us a better answer versus with a book answer, right? Everyone who grew up knows you have your book answers and you have your real world answers. That's with anything. But even in college and this and that, there's always the book answer, but then there's the real answer, the real world answer. So that's one thing a lot of people like to mention, is that it's so heavily faith-based. Yes, because it is a Christian. They create curriculums for Christian private schools and Christian churches. So therefore, your homeschool kids will follow the same thing. Another thing people talk about is the history. Now, let me be clear here. Everyone, they are accredited. They are accredited by a college and another like another agency that accredited schools out of Florida. Because like I said, if you get the accredited kit, you get an official transcript that schools and colleges accept. So therefore, of course, the history in it is probably people gonna go. They're not gonna agree with the history. Like it is what it is. In order for them to get the accreditations, they have to play. They have to play ball so that they can offer accreditations to the schools that buy the curriculums and those of us parents that buys the accredited curriculums. So, but then going back to that, just like with the Bible thing, look, teach your child, hey, okay, this is what the book says, but let's go to the library and get some other books, or you can go on Amazon, go on Kindle, get some other history books if you want your child to learn a different form of history that you agree with, that conflicts with what Abeka history books is teaching. But at the end of the day, your child is testing on the Abeka history curriculum anyway. So teach them the book answer so they can pass the test, so it's recorded, and then in different time, take your child to museum, read them books. Like they don't teach Black history in Abeka. They barely teach Black history in any public school really. So on me as a parent, I have to go the extra mile and get books on Black history and teach and talk to my daughter about that. Same with Asian families. They don't teach Asian history, right? They teach American history. Simple as that. So don't let that discourage you. That just means a little bit more on your plate. And yeah, it just means more on your plate. I hate to tell you that, but that's what it is. But overall, I think Abeka is good. They give you a lot of stuff that's useful. Some parents don't find stuff useful. Some parents don't make the kids do the seat work, which isn't graded. Your child gets graded on the test. So some parents don't do the seat work with their child. They say, nope, you don't have to do that. Just focus on, listen to the class, whatnot. I go against that because this leads me to another point. Some people said that it's repetitive. Yes, Abeka mentions that's part of their curriculum. The program is for it to be repetitive to help make the material stick in your child's. Yeah, to help make the material stick. So they do repeat things over and over. And depending on how your child is doing, your child might need to go over that stuff again so it can stick with them. So that is something other people brought up, but it is necessary depending on who the child is. Some kids might get it right away. Good for them. Other kids may not get it right away. So they need to keep hearing it over and over again in order for it to finally click for them. And that's part of how Abeka structures their curriculum. So yeah, but overall, I think it is a good one, especially for the price point. For the credited curriculum is like $1,400, right? When I was looking at another homeschool academy, the tuition was like $4,000 for the year, and that one offered a little more customization where you could pick different classes that your child could take, and I think they also offer an actual real-time video live stream option for your child. For elementary kids, I wouldn't go that route. Be real with you, because elementary kids, they might not stay. Now for late middle or high school, I can see doing that, but once again, that program is $4,000 for the year. Abeka is $1,400 for the school year. You could pay all in one lump sum. They offer military discount, and you could do monthly payments as well. With the one that's for $4,000, they do offer military discount. You can make monthly payments as well, and yeah, pretty much, yep. But for Abeka, I think Abeka overall is good price wise, material wise, structure wise. Now there's some parents who don't like Abeka because of their personal reasons, but they have the right to. But for me, as a prior military guy, um, also a prior military brat myself. I like structure, I like systems, and then I look at it, and if I feel like tweaking it, like I told you, I did do with our curriculum, tweak it a little bit, where my daughter still gets a benefit, and the price point is there. It's flexible. I rock with it. I have no issues. Now, the thing some people talk about is because with the accredited curriculum, you have to submit the test materials by a certain date. Look, I think only one, maybe two times out of the six grading periods, we actually got them in on time. The other times, we always was like a couple of days, I think max a week late. But the people is real cool. They know, oh yeah, we got your stuff, cool, you good to go. And if you go over, egregiously over, you got to pay like $20 to like reinstate your child's account. But I haven't have to pay that amount. I haven't had to pay that. We haven't been that much over. But I would say don't sweat it. Don't let it stress you out. I know in the beginning you will because you think, oh my God, but then as you do it, you like to say, whatever, bro, it's no big deal. But one last thing, okay, you have a teenager, right? Uh, eighth grade, that's a teenager, I believe. Um, I think since you are starting with your daughter in the eighth grade, it might be very important to have a conversation with everyone. You, the father, and your daughter. Y'all all sit down, have a conversation, talk about why y'all might be doing this decision, how it's going to potentially benefit her, um, and whatnot. Especially because it's one thing to grow up and doing homeschooling, so you're kind of used to it. But to go through elementary up into eighth grade of normal school, and then now to be taken out of normal school to now being homeschool, that could have some negative effects. So to counter that, there should be a good discussion amongst your child and all parties involved. If the concern is, well, how can I get to see my friends? You can always say, well, look, you do your school, and then you can still go to the what is the youth center. You can still do sports. You can still do you can still be involved in the activities that kids do after school. We're not taking you from that. But for academic wise, and because we are worried that you might be behind when we PCS back to the States, we want to ensure that you won't be so far behind. So we want to ensure that academically you are good. And socially, we'll take care of that here. You'll still be able to go play, you hang out with your friends, do this, that, and the third. But we're trying to do this because we are looking out for your best interest. That talk needs to happen. It needs to be very clear and understanding, so your child can understand. We've been teenagers. We know how it is. Like, oh, I'm getting taken away from my friends. Because let's be real. Kids don't really go to school. They don't really be focused, especially American kids. They be going to school and playing around, bro. They ain't really learning. Some do, but you know. But yeah, and I can see. I would say this math wise, because if she's in like a Korean school doing math wise, she will be ahead of the American kids. I will say that math wise, she will definitely be ahead because my daughter, she's ahead of her grade and she's only 7. Um, she's finishing first, so she was already. I think she's already doing like division with like two digit division equations and stuff right now. She's just done with first grade. All right. So math wise, your child will be ahead of American kids. I promise you that. But everything else, I understand what you're saying because like the history and everything else that goes on in American schools, the Korean schools probably won't translate. It won't translate over. But math, your child can be great. But yeah, I hope I answer your question, Mimi. Um, and thank you for reaching out and talking to me. I hope you have a great day.